and the energy saturation. Now to show the power generation, 537,000. If we increase bonus video, let's try to get a goal of 15 likes for this video. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new to the channel, and as always, leave some comments in the comment section below if you guys are unclear with anything I talk about in the video. I want everyone to totally, completely understand what I'm doing here. So basically, I want to talk about the greatest thing ever. This is the Draconic Evolution Reactor, and this is obvious what it is. Draconic Reactor Core, Reactor Stabilizer, all that cool stuff. So what I noticed was on YouTube there is a giant lack of videos discussing how to get the most efficient reactor design. The only two videos I actually found with like really high RF outputs were in German, and so I couldn't understand them, so I researched every single thing I could possibly do, self-tested it myself, and I think I finally came up with the best, most efficient reactor design. This is not the one that will produce the most power. This is the one that's most efficient for power and for fuel. Because the way a reactor in Draconic Evolution works is if the heat of the reactor is at 8,000 and it's at its most efficient temperature, okay? Anything below or above, it starts to become inefficient. If you reach 9,000, it starts using 10 times as much fuel, apparently, and energy just to keep the shield up, to keep it stable. So I've obviously come up with the best design. So what I first thought was, hey, I'll show you guys my design, I'll show you the power, and then I'll explain every single component of it. So here it is. You click on the stabilizer to see what it's all about. It's going to go up. I'm not done yet. Yeah, I was letting it charge up as I go. So this is going to go to 537,000 generation rate. When it's at that, it'll be at core temperature of 8,000. So you can see that the field input rate is 163,000. This is the energy to keep the shield, the containment field, up. As the containment field strength lowers, the cost reduces. So as you can see, it's going down. That's how it's supposed to work. Fuel conversion changes based on how much energy saturation is left in it. It's still going down, so this is going up to obviously stabilize so that it's producing enough to keep this stable. And this is all the stuff. So this was fed a stack and 8 awakened draconium, so 72 awakened draconium. This is the power. To kind of explain, so I have a limit of 537,000 set on the reactor stabilizer, so it can at maximum pull out 537,000 power out of the reactor. If you don't put a limit on it, it will basically reduce the energy saturation, which will increase the field input rate, because the containment field will basically die immediately, and there's no way you could keep it both up permanently by maxing out. It'll also increase the core temperature, which the core temperature, by the way, will go up for now. It will temporarily go up. Once this hits 537, it will start to go down. It'll balance out at 8,000. So yeah, now we have to explain everything. So basically, I'll get everything we need here. So this is the design. It's 4 reactor stabilizers, the Draconic Reactor Core. Under here is a reactor energy injector, some comparators, redstone, 2 flux gates, cryo-stabilized flux duct because there's no power limit on it, and then obviously a power bank, which you can see we have a net of 374,000 power, which is really good for this kind of a design. I also wanted to show you that the recipe for this requires chaos shards. You get 5 chaos shards for fighting the dragon that is at every 10,000 blocks in the end. There will be this island and this OP dragon that's really hard to fight. I'm going to have a video up on it eventually, but I'm not really too worried about the Chaos Guardian. I'm more concerned with letting you guys know the best reactor design. So yeah, this will stabilize. I'll show it again. So basically the concept of each thing. First thing is, alright, let me try something. This will probably work. Just making sure. Alright, I think we're good now. Sometimes it just takes replacing all of them for some reason. I don't know why it is. But basically then you would take your Awakened Draconium. You would put in 72. It makes the ball. Now when you when you come down here, you want to invert this, like I said, containment field inverted. Then you would place the comparator, which it's supposed to be getting a redstone signal. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't working. So then basically my setup is that I use cryo-stabilized flux ducts and I pull it up to here. Then you need to input power into this, so you would take the this is now my explanation of a flux gate. So you have two things here. It's very simple. You have the flow control. So redstone signal high is when the signal is 15 or higher, meaning a comparator signal, which this ends up feeding a comparator signal based on the containment field strength. So it's actually really useful, and you can just comparator off of that. So when this is 15, you want to set this to 222,000, and that's the best like RF number to keep this stable. So then you would just connect the comparators, connect it with redstone. The reason you use multiple comparators is because if you ran a redstone signal, you can see that the power goes down to 12. You need 3 comparators to keep the signal at 15. You can see 15, 15. And that'll keep it fed with 222,000. So then you would want to obviously have the cable going, and you could connect it straight up to here, where you would have another one, but you want to also fluxgate. Let me connect this actually. You would want to fluxgate this as well. So you'd want a fluxgate technically this way to a capacitor bank or whatever, and you would want to fluxgate this one to the limit 537 that I showed earlier, because you don't want to pull out too much power, as I've explained. So yeah, you would just have that, and oops, I meant to do the shift. Okay, so yeah, that would be that, and you would put it to a capacitor bank, and you're basically good to go. All you would have to do is click charge reactor, and it begins, and it will self-contain as long as you have the power to maintain it, which it will produce the power to maintain itself. So now to show you guys the actual reactor. So we have the 25% containment field strength, so it's slightly going up. The power the core temperature, as you can see, is stabilizing around 8,000, and the energy saturation. Now to show the power generation, 537,000. If we increase the power generation at all, it would obviously increase the temperature, and we don't want that because the increased temperature would require a bigger containment field or input, and it would basically be inefficient. So this is my design, and I really wanted to show you guys. Because I seriously couldn't find a good video on a high-powered one. I found a lot of videos on just regular like 100K reactors, but that's not what we want. We want the best of the best. So I guess I taught you guys comparators, the flux gates, the inverted field injector, how to lay it out, and it's pretty simple, as you guys can tell. And then here's the setup, and when we started this, we pretty much had like no power, and now we have 11 billion, and it's 374,000 RFs per tick. So all you would have to do is kill the Chaos Guardian, get a bunch of awakened Draconium, and then here you go. Pretty simple, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Now to show this for fun, I think I'm going to blow up this one just for fun. So let's get creative tank cell, and we need like a big capacitor bank technically. I could actually just, this is actually really easy. You just do this. So this is what happens when you feed it too much power. You would have to take off this flux gate. You just put this here, and you start the reactor, and it'll break pretty quickly. So this is just the charging part. So this will be fine. It's not going to have a problem. It's just charging. It's when you actually do the real reactor thing. Alright, you can see it going up. The core temperature has to hit 2000, then you really start the reactor. So I hope you're ready for this explosion. Also, the blast resistance of these is insane, by the way, just so you know. Here we go. And it can kill you in creative. Was vaporized by a high energy fusion explosion. And as I told you, the blast resistance of these blocks is insane. Come on, let me spawn. Rip. I would just want to show it. Why am I lagging? And there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little simple tutorial on the Draconic Reactor. Probably one of the coolest multi-blocks, along with the energy storage that it has for the 2 trillion power. Combine this with that and you've got something really crazy. Subscribe again if you guys are new to the channel. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope we can hit that goal of 15 likes. And yeah, leave some comments if you're unsure about anything or if something isn't working. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.